Hey, it's Soul, and this is a reference guide to gearing in Season 1 of The War Within. Consider this to be an intermediate guide where I unapologetically tell you what to do. Whether you're a very chill solo player or Mythic Plus royalty, I'm going to help you get started with the best momentum and clue you in on how to bump up that item level to, well, as high as you want. I like doing separate videos like these for this, very specific topic, and we're going to jump right in. So please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, and catch me when I'm streaming. Use the navigation below to get to where you're most interested, and let's log in. This guide will assume you're reasonably familiar with how world content and caches work, and the basics on delves. We'll focus first on solo gearing because whether you're a solo or group-focused player, this is an ideal place to get started without having to wait for anyone. We'll start with the weekly routine you've hopefully been practicing and refining over the past few weeks. You want to run outdoor content to obtain at least 2 caches which now drop veteran gear up from adventurer, and for the delve keys you'll be using throughout the week and, well, forever. You also should get a half spark of omens this week, ensuring you can make for yourself a second piece of crafted gear. That part's not 100,000% confirmed, but just keep an eye out for it. Go kill the world boss wherever it is for a chance at champion gear. The gear variety, it's not that great, but hey, it's more main stats and that can't hurt. Next, you want to run Raid Finder. You'll need an item level of 567 to run it, and 1 wing is available this week for veteran loot, including a tier token for gloves. The third boss also drops a pretty good haste neck and proc that benefits healers. Future wings of the Raid Finder are going to open up 1 week after the next. Doing the things I just mentioned shouldn't take terribly long. You'll have some guaranteed veteran gear at minimum with a chance for some extras and hopefully that full spark for crafting. After this, your next best step is to progress through delves. Hopefully you have a level 15 brand to help you out. The stronger, the better. Take a look and identify the 4 bountiful delves glowing on the map. Wowhead will also feature a list on their front page. You want to watch these because you don't want to run these delves yet. We want to first work on unlocking difficulty levels. So choose what you think is the easiest delve and run it on the highest difficulty, which is, well, maybe a 3 or a 4 right now. To reach higher tiers of delves, you'll need to get past a fail check, which is to complete the delve without using up too many revives. There's a counter on the right side of the screen telling you how many you have left. If you run out of revives and die again, you can still complete the delve for loot, but you won't unlock the next difficulty. And if this happens during a bountiful delve, the bountiful chest will also go away, but you can always just restart the delve and try again. So the basic rule while progressing, clear delves with lives remaining. Then do it again and again as you unlock higher tiers until you reach tier 8. Here's where you're going to want to use your bountiful keys, and thankfully the delve experience overall, it's very friendly. You're not saved to a delve until you actually complete it, and you don't use a delve key until you reach the end and open a bountiful chest. That means once again, if you're trying to progress and you happen to run out of revives or you want to stop or give up for any reason, you can leave and just try again. However, if you reach the treasure room, the delve is considered saved, and in the case of bountiful delves, they'll turn back into a regular delve. So in short, if you run out of revives, just reset and try again so you don't waste your chances at loot. Each day you can use up to 4 keys for 4 bountiful delves, and each day another assortment of 4 delves become bountiful. Delves can also be done in a group to speed things up. You want to just keep a few things in mind. The revive counter it's not line, it counts revives and not deaths. So if your team doesn't totally wipe and someone can resurrect, great, that doesn't count against you. Accessing delve difficulty is based on the least progressed player, so if everyone can access 8s but there's one person in the party who can only access 6s, then y'all gonna have to help your buddy out and run that 6. My observations aren't fully complete on this front, but completing delves awards a couple of crests, and as you run higher delves, higher level crests will drop. From what I've seen so far, tiers 5 and 6 will drop carved crests for veteran and champion gear. Tiers 7 and higher drop rune crests for champion and hero gear. It's not a lot, I've been seeing like 2 crests per run, bountiful or not, and I have a feeling this information is going to change real quick from feedback, so check the comments below in case I pin something. In theory, one can hard grind delves to create enchanted runed harbinger crests used for high-level crafts. How potent this is depends on what the season limit is, and at the moment we just don't know. But if running dozens of delves a week is your idea of a good time, hey, that's really none of my business. On rare occasions, testers and people on live servers have been seeing these delvers bounties, although I've yet to see one myself. From the read of it, they make it so your next completed delve will feature high-level gear and bonus crest based on where you got this Delver's bounty from. So if you happen to get one from an 8, hey, guess what? You're gonna get hero gear in your next delve, which is pretty sweet. Unfortunately, again, I couldn't test this on my own, and also I can't answer questions like exactly when does this item need to be used. Eventually you'll run out of delve keys, and then you'll have to wait to get fragments that are earned from other content like world quests, or get more keys at the start of each week by rerunning weekly content. But as you're running these bountiful delves, you'll also obtain these radiant echoes. Because of the timing of this guide, I'm gonna say for now, save these radiant echoes while we observe what other people do with them first. Radiant echoes are used to activate an event similar to the pre-patch event that we had, only this time you earn both Valor Stones and key fragments depending on how much killing you've done. Especially at lower gear levels, I suggest doing this in a group, the more the merrier. Now as for whether this lets you farm up so many fragments that you can run like 4 bountiful delves every day forever, I doubt it, but let's keep our eyes open for more developments. Outside of delves, there's gear to be found and made through Renown. Veteran and champion level gear can be found here, although delves are gonna get you geared much faster. Towards the end of the Renown tracks, though, are enchanted crests for crafting heroic level gear, and this might interest you a lot. This opens the door for additional gear synergies with embellished gear or to fill holes in your gearing. But this isn't as viable of a week 1 goal to reach, and I explain how you can hard grind your way to get these crests through delves alone, so I suggest using your energy elsewhere, but down the road this will be great for alts to get an early start, with like champion gear and crests to get started, and no doubt you're going to collect a handful of warbound gear from whatever content that you do to pass down to your alts. This is where solo gearing reaches kind of a stopping point, although maybe it's more like a loop. There's definitely a path towards very high-end gear, but it's going to be pretty grindy. In theory, one can keep slamming 7s for rune crests to eventually max out on crests for the week, and upgrade hero gear from 4 to 6, and even trade crests up to gilded to max out upgrades or at least unlock mythic appearances. Raiders and dungeon folk will eventually graduate from delves, if not skip them altogether, but solo players are going to find themselves discovering this new sort of endgame on top of whatever they do now, running high-level delves for vault loot and then crests, leveling up brand to make delves easier for their main and alts or to push higher tiers, using bountiful keys to upgrade brand's abilities even more and obtain radiant echoes to help replenish bountiful keys and valor stones, and then applying upgrades to gear and finally flexing as they vaporize lesser enemies. Delve gear, by the way, is perfectly usable with the Catalyst, making this another way to target high-level pieces or even low-level pieces for transmog unlocks. Let's move on to group gameplay and maximum item level, which is more familiar territory but with some changes. Mythic Zeros drop veteran level gear with an item level just below champion. New to the War Within, Mythic Zeros can be run once a day, but you still need to manually set up a group. In this first week, it's a good idea to run at least for practice, so you can start getting accustomed to the mythic level mechanics, and in the following week, folks will probably ask for mythic achievements or, some other ridiculous requirement. The gear you get from the vault is champion, so from a gearing standpoint, Mythic Zeros aren't gonna do too much good for you this week outside of, again, practice. The normal raid drops champion level gear, and also new to the War Within, the final 2 bosses drop crests equal to that of the next highest raid. In this first week, delves are a strong competitor for pure item level, seeing as how you can get 4 champion level drops from there, but of course the itemization is a different story. Heroic raids are where you're going to find the strongest gear in this first week, along with a handful of gilded crests from the last 2 bosses for greater upgrades. Higher level performers will want to slam the normal and heroic raid for gear, notably to complete tier set bonuses, followed by delves for additional vault slots and extra champion gear, then maybe during this first week a bit of practice in mythic dungeons. The week after will be a different monster altogether, with Mythic Plus and Mythic level raids opening up. The raids are self-explanatory at this point, and I'll cut to the chase with Mythic Plus gearing. Carve crests will drop from Mythic Zeros up to 3s. Rune crests will drop from 5s to 8s, and gilded, those are the best, those drop in 9s and higher. To see hero level gear from the vault, you need to run at least 3s. To start seeing myth level gear, you gotta run 10s though, so it's a really big jump, especially when we consider all the new affixes and mechanics you'll be introduced to along the way. But that's a next week problem. Like right now you have lots of opportunities to prepare your character to jump into higher level key territory with all these gearing options and stopping points where you can kind of hang and farm for, well, the whole season if you want. Personally, I only play at the Heroic Raid and Keystone Master level of the game, and there's lots for me to do. There's plenty of ways to gear, and greater challenges are just like a few clicks away. At the tippity top of the gearing game, here's where we're at. Mythic raid gear is not the same as before, with all the gear now having 6 upgrade levels, whereas in Dragonflight, peak item level was reserved for a few pieces of gear. It also means gear from Mythic Plus can reach the same level. The best crafted gear is a bit more costly this time around, requiring a whopping 90 crests to create the enchanted crest needed for the craft, but this is also because crafted gear is stronger than it was in Dragonflight. And here's the side-by-side comparison of the maximum potential of the War Within activities. Outdoor content peaks at Veteran and Champion gear for the World Boss. Renown awards up to Heroic Enchanted Crests. Delves drop Hero gear at best, and it'll take a lot of hard work to get most of your pieces to 6s. Mythic Plus and Mythic Raids match item level for the first time, with their strengths and weaknesses of gear frequency, RNG, and possible logistics. A little bit of commentary though, gearing has never been this close together before, notably with Delves being a new path for solo hero gear, and Mythic Plus and crafted gear getting a bump up. I have a feeling that overall characters are going to feel very powerful this season, and in record time, and this even includes gearing up alts through warbands with the hand-me-downs and gearing options. So I hope this answers most of your questions, and if you have any more of them, feel free to send them in the comments. A link to my big old poster sheet of information is available in the link down in the video description. Please like this video if it was helpful, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.